Mr. Chairman. Secretary, who must take responsibility for the creation of the Disinformation Governance Board? You as the Secretary of Homeland Security or President Biden?
Congressman, the Disinformation Governance Board, which has been mischaracterized
tremendously. Did President Biden tell you to do it, or did you guys decide to do it? Did you take responsibility for creating that?
Congressman, it is my responsibility, and I will share with you that.
So the last 4 days, 5,300 people have been encountered in the Tucson sector. Last 4 days, 5,300. In the last week, over 9,000 in the Tucson sector. That's not my made-up numbers. That's from Sector Chief Modlin. Who must bear responsibility for that? You or President Biden?
Congressman, our approach.
Is it you or President Biden? Who made the policies let's get there? Did President Biden tell you to open up the border, or did you?
The border is not open, Congressman.
Oh, so that's why there's 5,300 in the last 4 days that illegally tried to enter the country.
Congressman.
And that doesn't include the gotaways in that sector, which is the #1 sector, 3-1. And you're saying it's somebody else's fault, it's not open. Well, let's talk about this then. Recently retired CBP Chief Raul Ortiz has testified under oath that the U.S. does not have operational control of the border as required. Is it your responsibility or President Biden's responsibility to make sure there is operational control?
Congressman.
These are not hard questions. It's either your responsibility or President Biden's. Whose is it?
Congressman, the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security work tirelessly.
So look, I'm going to tell you, I get down to the border, I love the CBP agents. You know, they keep saying, we just want to enforce the law. So who's preventing from enforcing the law? Is it you or President Biden? It's that simple, because your policies are allowing millions of people to get through across this border. So since January 20th, 2021, millions of illegal aliens have crossed the southern border and have been released by DHS into the interior of the U.S. Did you implement this catch and release program, or was it President Biden?
Congressman, individuals who pose a public safety.
So look, you and I have had this song and dance before. You never want to answer the question. You never want to answer the question. Look, there's a whole side over there. They want to feed you pablum so you can say whatever you want. But I think the American people know it's either you or President Biden. And I want to know, is President Biden giving the directions on the implementation of your policies? Or are you the one that's creating it? So let's go to some of the stuff that you've written. In September 30th, 2021, you issued guidance that we had a senior DHS official come and tell this committee that your guidance from September 30th, 2021 led to ICE officers not submitting, quote, through their chain of command as many cases as they would have submitted previously, close quote. It was under your name. Did President Biden tell you to write that memo, or is that your policy?
Congressman, the memo that you referred to is the enforcement priorities memo.
Is that yours? Is that your policy then, or is that President Biden's?
The priorities that we established in that memo.
I'll take it that it must be yours. I guess that's all we can take then. Okay, so since we've been sitting here since 10 a.m., that's the number of drug overdoses due to fentanyl in the country. So my question for you is, who's responsible? Is it Joe Biden as President of the United States, or is it you as Secretary of Homeland Security for the open border where fentanyl's coming across and we have American citizens dying? That's since 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Congressman, the border is not open. The challenge of fentanyl is one that has been escalating for more than 5 years.
Look, you cited a figure that was 50,000, and since you came in, it's been more than double every year. Who's responsible for that? Is it you and your policies, or is it President Biden? It's a simple thing. You don't want to answer it because you know it's you. You know it's your policies you're driving in. On October 27, 2021, you issued guidance that restricted the ability of ICE officers to arrest aliens in protected areas such as courthouses where they knew aliens to be. You thus made it more difficult and dangerous for ICE officers to go and enforce the law. These are people who had already had, and generally, many of them have already had their day in court.